Welcome to SVGTV News for Tuesday, May 6th. I'm Jimmy Prince for the details. Retirement is something that one should think about ideally when they first start working. That's the message that Country Manager of the First Citizen Investment Services, Nolani Gabriel, wants Vincentians to know. Speaking to the local media earlier today on the subject of retirement, Gabriel says if more persons start thinking of retirement soon after their first employment, they will find themselves in a much better position to continue living when they are retired.
What retirement is really just an extension of your living, of your life. And when you stop working and during your working life, you would have established yourself and gotten to a standard of living, that would instill a sense of pride in you. You would have worked all of your life and you would have gotten accustomed to certain things. Now, when you don't adequately plan for retirement, what a lot of people find is that when they do have to retire, they find themselves having to step down from that life that they have worked so hard to build during their working years because, again, they didn't plan adequately. Okay? So, the time to ideally start planning for retirement is when you get out of school and you get that first job.
Gabriel also explains the financial benefits of planning for early retirement.
If you start planning for retirement right at the beginning of your working life, the amount of money that you would need to put aside on a monthly basis is negligible. Versus when you look at a comparison, if you take somebody who is starting in their early 20s, if you start planning for retirement in your early 20s, the amount of money that you have to put aside to say earn 100 or get a lump sum of $150,000 at age 65 is probably going to be less than $100 or just about $100. If you're starting when you're 35 or closer to 40, it's closer to $300 to $400. Now, $100 or $90 is a lot easier to find in a budget than $300 or $400 a month, right? And then, of course, you take advantage of the power of compounding because the longer you have this money being set aside, the more interest is added, and interest is added on top of interest, which is what you want. So you allow the factor of time to work for you. All right? So retirement planning really should be a goal.
The First Citizen Services Investment Country Manager says while persons may not see planning for retirement as important as planning for covering college costs, retirement is of critical importance.
I think we can all see that the cost of healthcare and living, the cost of living, isn't going down. It's going in the opposite direction. So we have inflation. We have the factor of inflation. What we can buy today with $1, in the future, we're going to be able to buy a whole lot less. So it means that if we have income that's not going to continually appreciate, we need to then plan, prioritize, and assign monies for that purpose so that we are able to continue our life when we retire. Rising costs of healthcare. Yeah, healthcare is a good business to be in. It is one of the areas, it is one of the fastest growing industries, and for a reason because we have populations that are aging. Okay, and services, the things that used to work really well when we were young, the bones don't work as well. They start creaking. Things, when you get up, you hear all kinds of noises that you didn't used to hear when you were younger. So you need to plan for that.
Meanwhile, today also saw the official launch of the First Citizens Retirement Advantage Plan, dubbed RAP. The country manager explains that RAP is an approved supplementary pension plan under the Income Tax Act, Caption 312 of the revised laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The law allows tax savings of up to $3,600 per annum for retirement savings. Okay? All right. So, when we came to the market, and we're coming to the market now with RAP, what we're trying to do is offer to individuals the tools to ensure that they're adequately planning for their future, not just for your education, not just for building your home, not just for your children's education, but also for when those children have moved on, for when you're alone or in the home that you've worked so hard to pay for, to ensure that you can enjoy that home and enjoy the quality of life that you have at that time.
Gabriel also spoke of what qualifies the persons to have RAP as their supplementary individual retirement plan.
To qualify, you must be between the ages of 18 to 55. See why I say the earlier you start, the first job is when you should start saving for retirement. It is a flexible plan. It offers you, the investor, the flexibility to determine what you will save. There is a minimum savings amount of $100. There is no maximum. Of course, you know that what's capped is your income tax benefit, because it's only up to $3,600. But if you choose to save $5,000 a month towards your retirement, there is nothing that stops you from that. Okay? So on the wrap, you can do that. There's a minimum contributory period of 10 years. And this is why we stop at 55. Because if we're using the maximum retirement age as 65, so that gives you the 10-year window in which covers the minimum time that you need to contribute for.
In other news now, business networking in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is said to be absolutely important, and it is for that reason the SVG Young Professional Association was formed. The SVG-YPA was founded to encourage future leaders through professional development, networking, and social opportunities. It was officially launched last Sunday. Member of the Board of Directors of the association, Kishore Shallow, says the organization is needed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He noted that he does not believe that in a small country, persons should not be competing against each other.
Why not coming together as a big network and progressing forward, you know, as a collective unit and compete regionally and internationally. So that is really what the young professionals is about. Also, there's a need for developmental programs. We are aware that, you know, now it's almost automatic to go from college to university, you know, but then we come back from university young and inexperienced, pretty much raw with just knowledge, theories, etc. So what is actually in place for these young persons who come back from universities in terms of, you know, harnessing the knowledge and getting that practical experience? And this is what the young profession is about, offering, you know, various topics through seminars and workshops over the next few months and years.
Michael Charles, another member of the board, explained the criteria for persons wishing to join the association.
One, you must have, under the academic route, we would accept you if you have 2 or more Cape or Cambridge A-levels, or if you hold an associate's degree from a recognized accredited institution, or if you have a bachelor's degree or upwards from any recognized institution in the world, recognized and accredited. Or what we have is the experience route, because not everyone is cut out for academic qualification, and if you can demonstrate your qualification by experience, perhaps you're an entrepreneur, if you're a farmer, young fisherman or whatnot, if you have your own business, if you can demonstrate that to us, then of course we'd welcome you with open arms.
Meantime, Charles says that SVG-YPA is trying to create a space for young people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to grow and develop.
In Centurions, we are divided, whether across religious lines, whether across political lines, or other ways of dividing us. What we're seeking to do is to carve out a space for persons 18 to 35 where we can network. And now networking doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be a tangible or a tangible benefit per se, where you get an extra $20 at the end of the month or the end of the week or whatever, something to go in your hand. But experiences are the best teacher. And I think initially, helping young persons to meet more seasoned professionals or practitioners in respective fields. For example, you may be a young farmer. You need an introduction, so perhaps to the head of a supermarket chain, or an agronomist employed with the ministry who is a member of our association, one of our mixers. You would have that opportunity whereby you'd be able to mix and mingle. Oftentimes as Vincentians, we do not know who we have.
And Shallow added that there are many benefits to be derived from being a member of SVG-YPA.
As I mentioned before, developmental seminars. We're talking about leadership management, legal affairs, project management, and all these other areas that are critical. You know, membership cards, something I think that I mean, most persons have expressed, interest and looking forward to this, where our members will be, given a membership card that they could use at our business partners. Places we have Bank of SVG who's already on board, who is currently, coming up with a plan how they could offer the young professional members benefits and concessions and so forth. Same, we expect to have a few supermarkets on board that they could use this business card and get discounts out of hardware. I mean, young professionals, obviously, starting their family, building their homes and so forth. Why not get discounts from these hardware stores?
24-year-old Bible resident Calvert Johnson has been remanded in custody, facing the charge of the murder of his father, Calvin Jacobs. Both men are said to have been involved in an altercation Thursday, May 1st, in which the father received a cutlass wound to his neck. Jacobs' body was, however, discovered in a shallow grave by co-workers the following day. When Johnson appeared before the court on Monday, he was not allowed to plead. He was remanded to custody until July 30th, 2014, when the preliminary inquiry is expected to commence at the Serious Offences Court. Police said that no motive has been established for the killing. According to those who knew Jacobs well, they said that he complained constantly about his son's behavior and that they will miss the deceased, who they described as a good man with a good heart.
Complained several times about things with his son, like mashing up things in the house, throwing away his stuff. Well, Jari should not go down like that. And I would like to see justice solved.
Very, very shocking. If my uncle was sick, I would have satisfied. We just want justice and let my uncle rest in peace.
The newly appointed CEO of LIAT, David Evans, will lead a delegation of LIAT officials, including Chairman Dr. Gene Holder, to St. Vincent and the Grenadines on May 7th and 8th. LIAT's team will on Wednesday, May 7th, meet with the CEO of the IADC, Dr. Rudy Matthias, and the team from the International Airport Development Company. Dr. Matthias is expected to provide an update on the progress of the International Airport and its completion, and the space requirement for LIAT's operations into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They'll also discuss other logistical matters. On Thursday, CEO Evans will attend his first LIAT Board of Directors meeting at Grenadines House in Kingstown. Thursday's meeting is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. and will be chaired by LIAT's chairman, Dr. Gene Holder. The local taxis are now featuring places of interest, emblems, and the symbols of national pride and various cultural aspects of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This as the Ministry of Tourism partnered with the SVG Taxi Association and Multigraphics to launch its pilot project, Taxi Ad Campaign. Head of the SVG Taxi Association, Winston Morgan, commended the Ministry of Tourism for embarking on the project, which he said is good for the traveling public.
Because a lot of our people in St. Vincent are not aware of what we have to offer. Some people live here and they don't go anywhere and they don't know much about their country. So it's good to sensitize the persons living in St. Vincent, and good for the visitors that come here when they come by the cruise ships, right? Because they meet us first. So it's a good advertisement for the country, and for us it will help us also in our various tours and so on that we'll be doing. And it's for the Ministry of Tourism, it's a good monetary stuff for us to help us to offset some of our expenses that we incur in this hard economic time. Thank you.
Minister of Tourism Cecil Mackey commended the Multigraphics, the Taxi Association, and the Ministry of Tourism for collaborating on the project, which he said will give the ministry an excellent opportunity to market various tourism sites across the country.
And of course, what this will therefore translate to is more visitors coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So as I indicated, it's a win-win situation for everyone. These images reflect not only places of interest where tourism is concerned, but it also depicts different emblems, symbols of our national pride, and also various cultural aspects of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I know that when the other taxi operators get a view of how these taxis have been enhanced, they would, I'm sure, become very jealous. They would also want displays on their taxis. This is going to be an ongoing discussion with the ministry, with the other stakeholders, because the more such images we can have out throughout the taxi operators here, I think is the greater our marketing opportunities will be.
Mackey said his ministry will continue to have discussions with other taxi drivers to have them display these images on their vehicles, and commended those who have embraced the project.
And what we are seeing here today is a clear statement by the taxi operators that they see themselves as ambassadors for and of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and as such they are prepared to use their vehicles to further promote the tourism product. One of the things we have to look to is that when we open our doors and windows to the world sometime soon, when we open our international airport, the visitors to our country would triple in very short time. As such, they will have an even greater role to play going forward with this reality. So not only should they be convincing the other taxi operators to join this crusade, but they have to also encourage all of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to get on board.
Mr. Mackey said they are also looking to expand this project in the diaspora to promote St. Vincent and the Grenadines overseas. Later this week, the Girls High School will celebrate its 103rd anniversary as an educational institution offering high-quality education to secondary-age girls in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. To mark this milestone, the school will host its annual lecture on Thursday, May 8th at the French's House in Kingstown. The lecture is expected to begin at 8 p.m. and will be presented by lawyer and past student K. Bacchus Brown, who will speak on the topic Privileges and Responsibilities of a Vincentian Citizen, the Individual and the Corporate Social Responsibility. A press release states that the topic is timely and of importance to all Vincentians given the recent concerns about crime and violence and social responsibilities of citizens. Thursday's lecture is expected to be broadcast live on SVG television.
See your eyes, yeah. Whip them up like you just don't care. Point them up to the sky, let them fly.
Well, let's look at some Carnival news now. In Carnival Beat this evening, Vincentian international recording artist Kevin Little says that he has some big things in store for 2014. SVGTV News caught up with Little on the Leeward Carnival whistle stop, where he outlined some of his plans for this year.
Well, I mean, I have my record label, and my intention is that when I start back promoting my new music internationally is to start signing and well, not even necessarily signing, because record labels don't sign people no more. It's all about label services and helping each other. So, you know, I want to start helping a lot of the young artists in St. Vincent to get out there and get themselves heard, because, you know, everybody is following the pace that people like myself, Luther, Fireman, everybody follow. And Vinci have the best music in terms of soca in the Caribbean for the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of getting it out there. That's something I want to do. I have collaborations coming with Florida, French Montana. It's ridiculous. It's too numerous to mention. You know, I'm working with so much different people around the world. It's hard to say exactly where all my collaborations would lie. You know what I mean?
Well, telecommunication provider Lime is back with its Carnival sweepstakes following a 2-year absence. At a news briefing on Monday, the company announced that customers will be able to win a number of prizes through the sweepstake. Product executive Maria de Grad says the promotion will make up for the 2-year absence, as they are seeking to make the campaign a big one.
If you top up minimum $20 or more, and this is not cumulative, so every top up of $20 gives you a chance to win instant prizes. Every activation of our bolt-ons, which includes our text bolt-ons, our voice bolt-ons, our data bolt-ons, enable you to be entered into our sweepstakes to win instant prizes. That, and then I would have mentioned about the SMS, where you send a text message to 8627, which you automatically enter into the sweepstake as well.
She also noted that customers paying bills will also be included in the sweepstakes.
You know, usually you would come into the store and see we have our spin the wheel, where you spin to win a little discount or costume, etc. This year we're going to kind of make it a little bit more interactive, where we want the customers to actually participate. So it's going to be in the form of a game, and we call it a beanbag toss game. So you come in, you zero your balance, you get a chance to participate in this game, and you will get discount towards your bill ranging from 5 to 30% up. So it's all of the holes that will be there are going to have a prize on it. So it's not that you're going to get a chance to win there. You actually get something when you participate.
See